I'm still pissed off about the Giants' loss to the Saints, but after I saw this, it just got 100 times worse. I'll tell you what that is, but first, I want to say thank you to all of the real ones. We crossed over 88,000 subscribers yesterday. Shout out to Hakeem Nicks. Shout out to all of you. It's a dream come true for me, and we're on the way to 100,000 subscribers. So if you love the Giants and you want free videos every day, hit that sub button right now. This is New York Giants Now by Chat Sports. I am your host, Marshall Green. I sure do miss Victory Monday already. The Giants' loss to the Saints, in my opinion, was the worst one of the Joe Shane and the Brian Daboll era. And I truly do believe the players deserve a lot of blame for yesterday's game. But I also believe that the general manager, the front office, and the coaching staff also deserve a large piece of the pie when it comes to the blame game. Let's start with this. I always say, good teams find ways to win, bad teams find ways to lose. The New York Giants, they invent ways to lose football games. The New York Giants became the first team to commit back-to-back straight turnovers since the New York Jets did it 9 years ago. They are the first team in 9 seasons to turn the football over on 5 straight possessions. They do things that no other team does, except the other lousy franchise that shares the same lousy stadium. And on those turnovers, the New York Giants forfeited essentially 30-plus points. Shout out to Doug Analytics, one of the best follows on Giants Twitter. Go give him a follow. The Giants lost a total of 28 expected points across 4 plays versus the Saints. We're not even counting all 5 turnovers. The Cam Skattebo fumble returned for 86 yards. That is at minimum a 12-point swing. The Dart fumble, a 6-point swing. The Slayton fumble, 5.5-point swing. And the Dart interception to Collins was a 4.5-point swing. Those 4 plays were the biggest swings in EPA for the New York Giants. A fumble by Darius Slayton, a fumble by Cam Skattebo, a fumble by Jaxson Dart, and 2 interceptions by Dart. I've already gone back and watched the all-22 tape. I don't really blame Jaxson Dart for those interceptions. The one on 4th down, nobody's open. He may have had Bo Collins across the middle, but he was running his route short of the sticks. Who would have thought a UDFA rookie doing the wrong thing? Tried to make a play, threw it downfield to Jalen Hyatt. And then the other interception, he throws it to Bo Collins, who stops on his route. So the interceptions, the fumbles, those were backbreaking, obviously. But what pisses me off most about yesterday was how good the New York Giants looked on those first 2 drives of offense. It was the first time in 5 years the New York Giants had scored on the first drive of the game and the second drive of the game. Meaning it was the first time they ever did it in the Brian Daboll era. And Jaxson Dart was honestly good in the first half. Shout out to Justin Pennick of Talkin' Giants. He found this stat. First half success rate. Jaxson Dart had a first half success rate of 66.7%. Of all quarterbacks that have played in Week 5 prior to Monday Night Football, that was the second highest success rate. So he was operating at a clip that was the second best in the NFL in Week 5. And why was that? The Giants' game plan was working. The Giants' personnel groupings they wanted to run was working. The opening script was working. The personnel groupings were working. You ran 11 personnel, 8 plays, 28% of the time. You ran 12 personnel, meaning the first digits is the number of running backs you had on the field. The second digit is the amount of tight ends you had on the field. So 1 back, 1 tight end. You ran it 8 plays. 1 back, 2 tight ends, 20 plays. 1 back, 3 tight ends, 1 play. So when you had 2 tight ends on the field, it worked. And in the first half, Theo Johnson had a really good first 2 quarters, and Daniel Bellinger had a really good first 2 quarters. Theo Johnson, 2 grabs, 16 yards, 2 touchdowns. Daniel Bellinger, 3 receptions, 48 yards, all in the first half. When you had these guys on the field, you had success. Guess what happened in the second half? The Giants changed the way they wanted to play football, and Jaxson Dart's success rate was essentially cut in half. He went from the second best quarterback in the first half to the 26th best quarterback in the second half. Now, why did that happen? A lot of different reasons. Some sacks, some fumbles, some interceptions, but most importantly, the coaching staff got away from what was working. He stopped putting the people on the field that contributed to Giants' success. In the first half, you ran 8 plays with 1 running back and 1 tight end. In the second half, you ran 32 plays out of that personnel grouping. In the first half, when you had 2 tight ends on the field, you had the most success. You ran 20 plays like that. So in the second half, let's cut that by a third. Let's run just 7 plays with 2 tight ends on the field. I mean, look, you came into this game with really good weapons at wide receiver. I mean, when you can roll with Darius Slayton, Wan'Dale Robinson, Bo Collins, and Jalen Hyatt, you just have to do it. I mean, it's not like the Giants only suited up 4 wide receivers and Gunnar Olszewski, and they left Lil Jordan Humphrey, who I'm not saying would have made a major difference, but it would have allowed you to have other options at wide receiver, especially when Darius Slayton got hurt at the end of the game. So not only did the New York Giants get away from what was working, they also didn't manage the game day roster correctly. You had just 2 running backs on the active roster. You had just 4 wide receivers on the active roster. So the game plan was correct. We want to run heavy tight end groupings because we don't have great receivers and we only got 4 of them. So what'd you do once you saw that worked in the first half? You said, F it. Let's go now 3 wide receivers and let's go 1 tight end. The Giants had a game plan and it was working, but they got away from it once adversity was in their face. And what does it say when you go away from what is working when you have adversity in your face? Just not a very good coached team. Not a very good run team either by Joe Schoen. I think Joe Schoen deserves a lot of credit for the loss of yesterday. But man, when I went back and watched this film and I saw these stats, it got worse. And I'll tell you this much. We're going to show you some photos of the All-22 yesterday. There was nobody open. Ever. Ever. I'll tell you about that in a second, but I want to let you guys know there's actually a better deal going on for this Giants Nike Polo. It's chatsports.com/Giants Polo. Use the code GRIDIRON for today. It's code GRIDIRON, essentially 50% off. Get your polo today. The film is so bad. It is so bad. I usually watch it about 3 times. I couldn't do it a 3rd time. I only watched every pass play twice. I couldn't do it. The first half was awesome. The opening script was awesome. But after that, there was never anybody open. We'll just cycle through a couple of pictures, and you guys can see it for yourself. What is Jaxson Dart supposed to do here? You got 5 people protecting. 4 people bringing pressure. You have Darius Slayton to the flat at the line of scrimmage. You have Cam Skattebo to the right at the line of scrimmage. And you have a deep crossing route, an over from right to left from Wan'Dale Robinson, and a deep post by Jalen Hyatt. Where is Jaxson Dart supposed to go with the football? Nobody open. And the next one, the same exact thing. Nobody open. And this is time and time and time again. They run post wheel, meaning the outside wide receiver runs a post route, the slot receiver runs a wheel route. So it's a natural cross. And they run it every week, every single week. And nobody is ever open. So you have wide receivers that can't catch. You have wide receivers that can't hold on to the football. You have wide receivers that don't make plays with the ball in their hands. They can't get open. And you have a play caller and a play designer and an overall head coach and Brian Daboll and offense coordinator Mike Kafka who can't scheme people open. That is a recipe for disaster. Can't catch, can't not fumble, can't make plays, can't get open, can't be schemed open. The front office and the coaching have failed Giants fans yet again. I don't know how many times I've said it this offseason. You are a Malik Neighbors injury away from wide receiver and playmaker hell. And that is where we are. The Giants were the 31st best scoring offense in the National Football League last year. And the only changes they made to the offense was signing Russell Wilson, drafting Jaxson Dart, and drafting Cam Skattebo. They didn't add a new tight end. They didn't add new wide receivers. They didn't add new offensive linemen. They brought back 10 of 11 starters on an offense that was the 31st best scoring offense. There's only 32 teams in the NFL. And now there's probably no moves you can make. You've made the bed. Now lie in it. And for your Giants' careers, Brian Daboll and Joe Shane, while you lie in it, you're probably going to die in it. Unbelievable. First week of October, and we're already talking about, do people deserve to keep their jobs? The New York Giants way. So much fun.